Tony only secretly copied his elder brother's Overlord blade style. When he saw them all leaving deep marks on the ancient meteorite, his heart began to stir with excitement. After everyone left, he quietly walked to the meteorite, picked up a branch from the ground, imitated their every move, and slashed with all his strength. But the meteorite showed not a single scratch. At that moment he doubted if he had any talent for martial arts. He turned away in disappointment. Yet after he left, the ancient meteorite slowly overflowed with golden divine liquid. The next second, a surge of blade energy shot into the sky from the training ground. Seeing this world-shaking strike, the master was stunned. He understood. The destined wielder of the Overlord blade had finally appeared. Soon the master and the emperor gathered all the princes to find the one chosen to wield the Overlord blade, because the enemy nation's grandmaster was coming to seize the technique, a terrifying force said to cut rivers in half with a single strike. Only the Overlord blade could suppress him, but after every prince tried, none could make the meteorite release golden liquid again. Only Tony was left, the one everyone looked down on. No one had a shred of hope in him, because his mother was just a lowly maid. Since his birth, neither of them had a prince's status. At that moment, Tony stepped forward to change their fate, pulled out his woodcutting blade, and mimicked his brother's moves, slashing with all his strength. Suddenly the enemy grandmaster appeared, instantly drawing everyone's attention. No one noticed the meteorite's reaction, except the master. He immediately realized Tony was the destined one he had been seeking. The grandmaster was arrogant, demanded the royal family hand over the blade manual, and even with only a wooden sword, challenged the entire royal clan. The crown prince rashly went to fight, but was easily defeated in just a few moves. The emperor then sent the strongest third prince, yet even he was no match. His steel sword, forged from heavenly meteorite, was shattered into dust by the grandmaster's wooden blade. The grandmaster then stomped on the third prince, forcing the emperor to surrender the blade manual, or watch his son die. But the third prince chose death over surrender. He charged again, only to be brutally beaten. Tony watched anxiously, because the third prince was the only brother who treated him kindly. He drew his woodcutting blade again. The blade energy he released gravely wounded the grandmaster. Everyone was shocked. That was the first form of the Overlord blade. The grandmaster immediately wanted to fight him, but the master dared not let Tony reveal himself. One strike was far from enough, so he handed Tony the blade manual, told him to train the later forms quickly, until the golden liquid fully filled the Overlord character. He must not fight. The master himself stepped onto the stage instead. The grandmaster suspected nothing. After all, the master had studied the blade for decades. The two fought fiercely. For a time the grandmaster was forced back, but in the end the gap was too great. With one kick, the master was sent flying hundreds of meters, fallen and gravely wounded. The only fighter lost. The royal family instantly knelt in despair. The emperor watched his sons grovel at the grandmaster's feet, his heart torn apart. Just then Tony's mother stepped forward with a sword, knowing she would die, yet determined to buy time for her son. The empress, who had just been kneeling, instantly cursed her, forgetting her own shame moments ago. But Tony's mother knew no martial arts. She could not block even a single blow. In seconds she was gravely injured. Tony could no longer suppress his aura. The grandmaster instantly sensed the Overlord blade energy. The master rushed to suppress Tony's aura, or his meridians would reverse and he would die. The grandmaster locked eyes on Tony. He would never allow anyone to master the Overlord blade. As he advanced with killing intent, everyone else retreated in fear. Only Tony's wounded mother stood before him again. The grandmaster, short on time, unleashed his strongest strike, intending to slaughter everyone in one move. It was a race against time. At the very last moment, the golden liquid finally filled the entire Overlord character. In that instant, a boundless power erupted from Tony's body straight into the heavens.